Are you a songwriter, producer, musician of any kind? I have a way for you to start making money literally right now. What up, everybody? Welcome to Music Blueprint. My name is Gina Fontanella. As you probably know now, I am one of the co-founders of Music Blueprint, and today we are going to be talking about Soundbetter. Woo, 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 woo. I just want it to be known, I am not sponsored by Soundbetter. They are not paying me to do any promo for this. This is purely just a platform that I have used for a really, really long time, and it has been my part-time income, sometimes at some points in my career, my full-time income for the last, I want to say 5 or 6 years. So I wanted to come on here. I know I've mentioned it before in some other videos and some other how to make money videos. Again, if you haven't seen those, please check them out. But I thought it would be smart to go through and really nail down why my profile is somewhat successful. I don't think it's as successful as other people's, but there are some reasons for that. So why don't we just dive right into it? So you go to www.soundbetter.com. Your profile looks somewhat like this, as you can see here on the screen a little bit. And it's just, I'll say this, it's like a dating profile. You say what you've done, what's your experience, what you like, what you don't like. And in this instance, for Soundbetter, you write down in your bio, what have you accomplished, who have you worked with. I mean, literally, don't be worried about name dropping. The more you name drop, the better. I actually need to redo my bio so that it does name drop a little more, because right now it doesn't, and it's because I did this profile so long ago. But yeah, I think if I redid it, I actually would probably get a lot more. Although I have so many projects going on right now, maybe I shouldn't, because that would, if I get more projects, it's going to be insane. But you first create this profile. Now, the number one thing that has probably made me the most money on Soundbetter is I never put my pricing on my page. I always put contact for pricing. The reason that is because, one, everybody's situation is different. If a college student contacts me and is like, hey, I really love your stuff, I'd love to use you for this, but I only have this budget, well, then I'm going to try to make it work. But I always, after they contact me for pricing, say what my pricing is. Like, hey, I charge this amount. And then if usually, because they've already contacted me and made the first step, they're like, well, I can't really afford that. Or, oh yeah, that's great. This is perfect. Boom, done. And so then there's a conversation to be had. And so when you just put your pricing on there, people just see it and there's no conversation to be had. There's been a ton of clients of mine that have been returning clients that originally I was outside of their budget, but they were like, you know what, I think you're worth it, and took a shot on me, and then they ended up returning and doing multiple songs with me. So I always say put contact for pricing because, again, it starts the conversation, and when they've already made the effort to start the conversation, they're most likely are willing to at least send a few messages back and forth to figure out if we can come to some kind of agreement. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say, and probably one of the most important things on this, is that you have got to get reviews. The more reviews you have, the higher you are on the list of vocalists or songwriters that people can choose from. The way Soundbetter works is it's all based, like on a numbers game. So the highest reviewed person on there is at the top. So when people go to look for a male vocalist, female vocalist, songwriter, pop writer, whatever, it goes based on how many reviews you have. And it has to be verified reviews. So that means people that are on the platform itself. You can, to get going, get unverified reviews, which means like get your mom to go on the profile and just put a review. I think that helps in part, but it doesn't, the unverified ones don't count as much or have as much weight as the verified ones. So that's the second thing that's very, very important for Soundbetter, because the more people that see your profile, the more people are going to send you a proposal on that they want to work with you. I have found the most success on this platform for singing and for songwriting. That's what I found the most success for. I have some friends that have gone onto this profile as a producer or as instrumentalists. They get some success, but they don't get as much success as the songwriters and the singers. If you're a male songwriter and a singer, you're about to pop off. Because one, no offense, I'm not trying to be sexist, but there's not as many good male singers as there are female singers. There's a ton of us female singers that can sing, and there's reasons for that. I can give you the technicalities. Men actually don't develop their voices until much later in their life. Their voices actually mature towards the end of their 20s, while female vocalists typically mature in the beginning of their 20s. So that means the concept of pitch, guys seem to develop that concept much later, and as women get older, our voices, because we matured so much earlier, our voices start to fade into our mid 30s, late 30s, or whatever. So, anyways, just so I'm covering all my bases for all those keyboard warriors out there, but. So, anyways, all that to be said is I found the most success as a songwriter and as a vocalist. Some of my producer friends have done well. I have always been able to make Soundbetter, especially right now. It's for sure been a part-time income. It's definitely been a part-time income. There's been other times where it's less, but for my producer friends, it's probably more of like a random thing that they got and you're like, oh, this is great, an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever you charge. So Soundbetter has more than just vocalists and songwriting, though, as I've mentioned. They have mixing and mastering. You can put your profile to set to mixing and mastering. You can set your profile to producing. You can set it to guitarist or instrumentalist, or I mean, literally the spectrum of things that you can do on here is crazy. They also have just added this new thing, and I don't know anybody who's tried it yet because I don't know a ton of producers that are on here, but they have this new thing. I don't know if you can see it here on the screen a little bit, called tracks. And what this is you can, as a producer, license your tracks. So you can upload all your tracks. How many of us, show of hands, even though I'm the only one in this room, how many of us have tons and tons of songs in our library that are not being used? I mean, I can attest to that. Here, you can sell your tracks or license your track, and I think it's for either a period of time or you can buy it outright depending on the person, but you first have to contact that person and figure out what that ordeal is. But I think this is another great platform for, like, put up all the songs that you don't freaking use and that haven't used, and you're like, I don't know what to do with this. Okay, upload them all to here. And what if you got one, even if you got one a year and you sold it for $1,000, that's $1,000 freaking bucks. Like, I just think it's a really great opportunity for something that's just sitting in your library. I mean, let's listen to some of these songs. Let's see what they're like. I mean, literally, there's so many different ones. Soundbetter.com. I mean, there's so many options. R&B, trap. So anyways, all that to be said, it's not limited to genre. If you think, well, I'm not a pop person, I only do like rap, trap stuff. They have pop trap. They have trap everything. I mean, literally, there's no, look at this one is straight up trap. That's the genre. So there's no limitation. And again, to me, if all I have to do is take, I don't know, an hour to upload all my songs and maybe another hour to create a somewhat decent profile, I did something for 2 hours, and if one of the songs gets bought for $1,000 or $500 or whatever, I just made $500 in 2 hours. $250 an hour is amazing. I can't stress enough, like, how great this opportunity is. I'm not a producer, so I don't have this opportunity. I don't think they have it set yet to do like with a full top line. I think it's purely tracks right now. So for me, like if you were a producer, this is the time to get in because this is the ground floor and it's not oversaturated with a bunch of other people. Like there's literally how many pages of this? Let's see. Okay, I'm on page 6. It only goes to page 6. And there's about maybe 30 songs per page. So there's only 180 songs on this profile. Like, and this would be easy to click through if you were an artist. And it also it has filters up here too. So like if somebody was like looking for a pop song, that probably would filter out a fourth of the amount of songs in this thing. So they wouldn't even have to go through 6 pages. They probably only have to go through 2. So again, I just think it's a really easy opportunity for somebody to make money. Now, in terms of songwriters, let's see. Let me see if I can. So here, as you can see on the page a little bit, again, if you're just hearing my voice, if you go to the main page of Soundbetter and you scroll down, it'll say like discover top music production pros, and then it has like singers, songwriters, mixing engineers, session musicians, whatever. It has it labeled differently. So if we went to singers, so the top person right now has 319 reviews. That is so freaking many. A lot of these people have been the top people for a long time, though. Like this Candela chick, she was like one of the first people ever on here. I remember because I was one of the first people ever on here, but I never had a paid account. She has a paid account. Oh my gosh, Elena's up on the top page too. Let's go, Elena. So actually, some of this isn't based on most reviewed because Elena only has 30 reviews and I have like 40 something. So sometimes they just throw people a bone and put people up on the top. I definitely think they push the paid people more. So if you have a paid account, they push you more. Like I don't have a paid account, which I think is one of the reasons why I don't get as many jobs. I still get a decent amount of jobs if I'm being honest, but I have been on this platform for a really long time. So that's why I get a decent amount of jobs. But I think if you have a paid account, they definitely push you more to the top. But for me, I haven't needed a paid account. So I get enough jobs that I like. And from what I've heard, but this was from probably a couple years ago, the paid account one is, I think they're so filled with paid accounts that they're only selecting specific people. So if you went through the process to get a paid account, you might not even get it, first and foremost. Second, from what I've heard, is people with paid accounts. I can't remember exactly what the cost of a paid account is. Let me see if I can find it really quick here. Let's see. I don't think they have it on here, but I think it's somewhere around like $200, I believe, for the year. What I found, it's like $40 a month. That's what it is. It's $40 a month. So maybe around $420. But from what I've heard is that with the paid account, you probably get like one extra job a month. So, which, in theory, if you're charging $500 a top line or even $200 a top line, that's like an extra, $160 or an extra $440 or no, $460 a month just for your paid account. So in that sense, that's great. That works out really, really well. But if you're already kind of swamped and you're like, look, even if I got one a month, I can barely handle that, then start out with that. So all in all, again, I am not sponsored by Soundbetter. I have just been with them a really long time. They were one of the first things that I signed up for when I moved to Nashville about six-ish years ago. And it has just been a really great continual income for me. It's been consistent. And every time I feel like the month is going to be tight, Soundbetter comes through and I get a job from Soundbetter. So I think it's something you guys should sign up for. It's something that I have continually made money off of for the last 6 years, and it's been really great for me. And it always comes through when I need it to. And even right now, like over the Christmas time, I had somebody wanting to do like a 6-album EP. Well, that was like $500 a song. So I made $3,000 in the month of December just off of that one client. And I had a couple other clients that came through in December as well. So to me, $4,000, $3,000 around Christmas time, that's pretty freaking legit. So yeah, anyway, sign up for Soundbetter, create an account. I think you can just create one. I don't think there's any limitation to creating one right now. There were so many people trying to sign up that they had to like cut it off and only do paid accounts. But I think you can still sign up for it, and it's just a really great website. And now they're sponsored by Spotify as well. So there's some opportunities there to promote your songs and promote all this stuff. So check it out. That is the spiel for today. I know I kept it short, but I think this is just such a great website and people need to get on it. And there's not really more to explain than that. It's pretty simple. Just create a profile, create a biography, and get going. And hopefully somebody will, listen to your stuff and find out that you're awesome and pay you to do what you love. So have a good week. Get your profile set up, and we'll see you next week. Peace.